All right. So in this session, let's start with branch accounts, guys. So how a branch operates, what's the purpose of maintaining separate branch accounts is what we are going to learn in this. Okay. Now, before we get in, I'll give you a brief intro of what's the purpose behind. Take an example of, say, there is a small cloth store in your area, and as the time passes, the family, whatever be the son or daughter or someone, would generally enter into the same line of business. Would enter into the same line of business. When they enter into the same line of business, the initial proprietor, whoever has started the business, would be with an intention that, let me see personally how much of sales is being made by my child, is the objective. Okay. So what does the parent do? Parent would take, say for example, a shop opposite to their place, another shop is taken on rent, some investment is pumped in, and then they would, the other partner, that is the other person in the family, would generally take care of that business, and that's how they would run the business in both the places. At the end of the year, father would have his own shop, say son has got his own shop opposite to father's shop. In both the places, investment is made by father only. However, he wants to see to what extent son is able to do business in the other end, yes or no. So the objective of branch accounts is, you are trying to see whether the other part, whether the other branch, whatever you have started, is able to perform on its own or not. That is, what is the amount of profit or loss made by each of these branches. That's the objective in finding, that's the objective in preparing branch accounts. Okay. So with this intro, let us see what type of branches generally can happen and how accounting is generally done in either of these branches. So I'll use whiteboard and explain the concept first. Then we will get into the accounting part of it. Okay. Now, branches predominantly are categorized into two. One, which is controlled by head office. Second, which is an independent branch. Okay. First, let me talk about an independent branch. What an independent branch is. Then we will come to controlled by head office. Now, when I say an independent branch, it means there would be various operations for any business, yes or no? What operations could be there? There could be purchases, there could be store management, there could be sales, there could be services. Like this, there would be multiple services which a branch has to take care of. If I call a branch to be an independent branch, it means that none of these, yeah, let's talk about bad debts and all little later. None of these activities are something taken care by the head office. Then I call it an independent branch. That means for a branch to be called as independent branch, initially head office may invest some money into the branch, post which the branch only takes care of its entire set of operations. What do I call by entire set of operations? There could be purchases, there could be sales, there could be sales returns, there could be purchase returns, there could be sales which are not collected, there could be credit sales, credit purchases, what not, everything. Okay, everything is monitored only by independent branch. That is, whoever is taking action in that particular aspect, in that particular branch, he would only be solely responsible for the entire store. Okay, In such case, I call it a independent branch. Okay. Now, accounting for independent branch is fairly very simple. It's very simple. How is it simple? Because your independent branch, he maintains his own purchases. He maintains his own sales. He maintains his own purchase returns. He maintains his own sales returns. He maintains his own debtors. He maintains his own creditors. He maintains his own bad debts. If there is any loss, he only takes care. Yes or no? So if everything is completely independent upon the branch manager or the branch whoever has taken the franchise, in such case, I call it as an independent branch. If you ask me for examples, take example of people coming up with franchises nowadays, franchises. Say for example, McDonald's is a franchise model. So in a franchise, what happens? Initially, the original business orator, whoever is there, he invests the technology into this branch. That's all. Post that nothing would be there. Post that nothing would be there. The branch has to market on his own, generate revenues on his own, pay his salaries, pay his expenses, pay his whatnot, every other cost. And finally, whatever is left over, out of that, some share goes to the head office. That's all. Okay. This is how a independent branch generally operates. Okay. Now let us come to something controlled by head office. When do I call something controlled by head office? That means there is some part of involvement by head office in the entire operations of the branch. In the entire operations of the branch. In such case, I call it as controlled by the branch. Controlled by the branch. Now let us observe what sort of, how many types of branches can be there if head office controls. Okay. So broadly, there could be two varieties of branches in case head office controls. Okay. In case head office controls. So the first one is called as branch completely managed by, within the family. Completely managed within the family. Managed within the family. That means the party who is sitting in the branch is trustworthy. The party who is sitting in the branch is trustworthy. Second, managed by others. Now let us observe taking an example like this. I hope many of you know about Anutex in Hyderabad. Malkajgiri Anutex. Okay. Say this is the Malkajgiri road. So you come all this way, Malkajgiri Junction, and when you turn, there would be a huge complex, huge shopping mall on the left-hand side, which is the old Anutex. Old Anutex. Say this guy has minted money in that area. In fact, has minted money in that area. After he has grown too big, say his son also wanted to be in the same business. So what he thought, anyways, this fellow after making so much money purchased the land this side also, on the other side of the road. So both the sides of road, Anutex only, huge complex. Okay. So take example. So Anutex proprietors X, say X is the name, and his son Y. He stated that, Y, you go and start a business here, branch. Okay. I will invest money. I will pump in stock. Okay. End of the period, you should tell me how much is collected back. Now, when Y is his own son, will he count over each and every transaction? He will not do, because he is trustworthy, because he believes that his son won't do injustice or do some siphoning of funds, is what he personally believes. Okay. Hence, generally what control Anutex will have over Y is I have invested 10 lakh rupees in your business in this particular branch. How much are you giving back at the end of the day? Okay. Normally, how much profit I would have made on 10 lakhs? What is the profit you are making? That's all. Very simple story. Okay. In such case, that means the main proprietor or the businessman is not interested about your stock, what is pumped in, what is the amount of debtors. Nothing will be seen by him. Okay. He will be treated just like a debtor. I will treat the other party just like a debtor, stating that I gave you 10 lakh rupees. How much did you give me back? Simple logic. In such case, you call it a entity or a branch which is managed within the family. Now, if it is something which is managed within the family, your extent of control might not be heavy. What is heavy is your tracking of whether money is getting collected from the other party or not. Okay. You're tracking of whether money is getting collected from the other party or not. Other party in the sense, whoever is managing the branch. Okay. Now, hence, this method is called as debtors method. Okay. Now, let us go to another example, another scenario. Say KLM Fashion, the most trending mall in Hyderabad right now. Or you can take something else. If you want Chennai, you have Pothys. Okay. Pothys. All right. There are multiple comments coming here. Let me not concentrate on those. All right. Say KLM Fashions, KLM Mall has come up. After KLM Mall has become a success, there are many other businessmen who wanted to do the same business. Okay. Hence, what they did, they approached this fellow, KLM Fashion. Okay. He said, okay, I will allow you to do. However, I will allow you to only be a branch in charge. That means I am not allowing you to do business. I will invest everything. You monitor the business. That means I am giving you the brand name. You start a shop there. Use the same brand called KLM Fashions. Okay. However, investment is mine, stock is mine, sales are mine, everything is mine. I will allow you to only take a percentage of profit on the entire sales or net profit, whatever is left over, or you will work only for salary. Okay. The moment I tell that the other party is there only to make some amount of commission or salary, it's actually a third party whom I am intervening into my business. The moment I intervene a third party into my business, will I leave the business normally, like how I left it for my son? I will not. Yes or no? What kind of tracks will I keep? I will have control over every aspect in the business. If I purchase something, I will record stating that purchase is made for so and so branch. If stock is sent to branch, I'll make an account for that also. Stock is sent to branch, I'll make an account for that also. While sending stock, I don't want him to know my cost price. In which case, I will add something called loading. I want all sales to be known to me. I will maintain track of all the sales being made by him. I want a track of what is the collections made by him. I will maintain track of collections. I will maintain track of debtors. I'll maintain track of debtors. That means Everything and everything in the business is something which I should know. Okay. In such case, I call it as, so you're in this case, if you observe, you are tracking everything from stock to debtors, everything you are tracking. Hence, it is called as stock and debtors method. Okay. So now in total, if you observe types of accounting, if you see, the first is called as independent branch accounting, where the branch maintains its own set of accounts. At the end of every period, he will give you a list of expenses, incomes, assets, liabilities in the form of a trial balance. That trial balance has to be incorporated by me in my head office books and go ahead with finalization of accounts. When it comes to branches controlled by head office, you have two varieties of branches. One, which is accounted using through only debtors method. Second, accounted using stock and debtors method. So this is the crux of your three types of methods of accounting in branches. Okay. Having said about this, now let us look in deep about each of these methods, about accounting in each of these methods. Okay. First method, debtors method. Okay. Debtors method. How does debtors method operate? Like how I told you, I will send goods. I will incur some cost for the sake of branch. He will make sales. He will incur, he might have some debtors. All that is immaterial for me. I will only calculate how much is that I have pumped in into my branch, how much is that I got back from the branch. That's only important for me. That means the accounts what I will have to maintain would be